The greatest interview of all time. Todd Howard and somebody of his who is not going to ask him a single hard question because they're all chums in this industry at the end of the day. You already know my opinion on this. Let's hear a couple of more opinions. And by the way, yesterday when we talked about this the first time, I did actually forget to mention the fact that Todd Howard says that they're not going to be using AI. Bethesda is not going to be using AI slop. Now listen, I don't know if I need to tell you this, but if you believe that AI is not going to be using AI, Bethesda is not going to be using AI for their slop, then you're either very desperate or very dumb. Maybe gullible even, who honestly knows? But yeah, the AI thing is a lie. There's no way Bethesda suddenly thinks like, the AI slop we put in our games to pad out the runtime, that's bad. Yeah, there's no world where that's real.
So Todd Howard did an interview with Greg Miller from Kinda Funny Games. First, they talk about Starfield, and Todd basically says that nothing crazy is coming, and there is no Starfield 2.0.
I can tell everybody we're going to be talking about it, really soon. We're moving into a phase where we're ready to talk about Starfield.
Okay.
It is not Starfield 2.0. I've seen some of that. If you love Starfield, we think you're going to love this. But look,
if your likes are so into the dirt that they're barely visible at this point, if you are the most slop lover of existence, the Starfield update, which is not going to be a Cyberpunk Redemption, is going to be exactly up your alley. Yes, Todd, the 5 fans left playing Starfield are going to be excited for it. I'm sure they will.
Starfield something that didn't connect with you right away, or you bounced off it or found it boring in places. I don't think this is going to change that fundamentally.
I think that says all you need to know about the future of Starfield.
Yeah, and I covered this, by the way, so long ago that there's no Starfield 2.0. It's a lie. Someone made it up. One of those reputable sources, inside leakers, your Nate Dogs, or whatever the hell they're called, just made it up, and people are like, oh my god, this guy who has never been right about anything is saying that something big is happening. Well, I'm gonna believe him. Yep.
He does acknowledge them breaking Fallout 4, but just barely. He calls 76 and Starfield Detours.
Do you guys batten down the hatches and you're committed to your engine and this is what we're making and this is how it's going to be? Or are you letting things come in, influence, and do you see that changing as everything evolves?
If you look at our games, we've sort of always evolved. We do have a certain style.
Well, backwards evolution is technically evolution.
That we like and our fans like, that we want to get better and better at. I think in some ways, in many ways, Fallout 76 and Starfield are a little bit of a creative detour from kind of that classic Elder Scrolls Fallout.
Yeah, I mean, no argument here, Todd.
Dude, imagine how painful it was for Todd to actually say that. Because Starfield was the game Todd Howard wanted to make since he was a child. Not that vampires can be children. He probably was always an adult. Oh, but in any case, enough of my ramblings about Todd Howard being an alien, lizard, people, vampire, or just the Antichrist himself, which is, by the way, very believable if you think about it. Starfield was supposed to be the best thing ever. It was Todd's magnum opus. It was his jewel. It was the Africa's heart. And, well, I mean, saying it was a detour, oof, man, he probably practiced that in front of the mirror not to start crying.
I mean, I think to call them detours might be even a bit of an understatement.
We have a style of game that we really, really like that I think people expect from us.
Yeah, I think people expect it from you too, Todd. Which is why it's weird you took 8 years to make 76 in Starfield. By the time Elder Scrolls 6 releases, we're talking 12, 13 years from Fallout 4? 16, 17 years from Skyrim? Yeah, just a detour.
As the Fable fanbase would say, that's not even a bad thing, actually. All of the good games have been, taken 2 decades to make.
Greg takes this opportunity to talk about the Elder Scrolls 6.
I mean, you brought it up. You said the Elder Scrolls 6. So, I mean, like, how is that going? Because it's been, let me check my calendar, 7 years.
Since the announcement?
Uh-huh.
That was a little savage by Greg. But to sum up the Elder Scrolls 6 stuff, he basically just says it's going to be a while. The majority of the studio is working on it. Most of his time is spent on it, and he just says nothing about the actual game.
Fallout 76 is so popular.
And of course, he finds a way to pivot.
Do I need to put up the graphs, Todd? Are you just gonna lie to our face? Do you want me to show the graphs of Fallout 76, where Microsoft was gonna shut it down because it didn't have enough players, and where the graph is currently? Do you want me to show? Because I will. I will. I'm not a liar. I'm impartial here. If they do something good, I will say it. But if you lie, I'm gonna call you out because someone has to.
Into Fallout 76 some more. So Greg gives in and asks about 76, and Todd does his usual glazing. If you watch this full interview, Todd really seems to love live service games.
You know, in many respects, it's the game that we've done I'm the most proud of, because it's so hard to do and then maintain as a relevant game. And I think if you look across the industry, the amount of games like it that there have been are come and gone, and here's 76 still there, with big numbers and doing well and being relevant.
It's Todd's game he's most proud of. You know, I would say that's a pretty big statement coming from Todd, but he's really just a politician anymore, so hard to take anything he says as his actual opinion and him not just trying to sell you something. So Greg kind of asked if the TV show lit a fire under their ass to try and make a Fallout game faster. You know, these
Yes, obviously.
two are buddies, but Greg does a pretty good job at asking the right questions, even if they're kind of...
They're not the right questions. All of that thing was scripted. You think Todd Howard is literally ever gonna answer a real question from from someone, even if it's his friend? Of course not.
Phrased a little on his side.
You know, 76 has reached this milestone of players because of the show. They're all in the top 10 again on Steam because of the show. It was an interesting way to dovetail it without, you know, having to have a...
Was it top 10? Oh, well, I guess for a moment, yeah. I guess for a moment it was during the first season. The second season reached top 10 on Steam, not sure.
brand new game ready to go for it. Was that an answer to that question of season one when you really were like, oh man, everybody's rushing to play these games, but we don't have a brand new thing to do?
We had, well, first, you know, with season one, we knew it would be popular. It was more popular.
So, first of all, this is a lie. I didn't even mean to pause here, honestly. I wanted to just call him a liar in general. But it was a lie. They did not expect the TV show to be good. Todd Howard has never supported a TV show. Microsoft made the TV show. They made it happen because they bought Bethesda. Todd Howard didn't expect this TV show to be good, and even Microsoft at the end of the day didn't actually expect it to be good because they dropped the TV show in batches. You drop a full TV show, or drop it in batches so people watch it faster and don't have enough time to talk about the negatives of it. That's how you do it. And that's how the first season was dropped. It was dropped and expected to be an absolute failure. And now season 2 is dropping one episode a week, as you can see. So again, they expected the TV show to be a massive flop. Instead, it was amazing. Give it up to Hollywood to do that.
Popular than we even thought, but our goal was, let's make sure the games are ready, right? People are going to come to the games and, you know, make sure they're ready. So updating Fallout 4.
Todd basically says no and just says that he wanted to make sure the games are ready, which is hilarious.
By killing Fallout 4. Keep in mind, Fallout 4 is still not playable for the average person.
Hilarious given how they broke Fallout 4 after the show came out. Fallout 4 ended up in its least ready state that it was ever in since it released. Todd, of course, pushes 76 a bunch more, and Greg pivots into the TV show. Todd does a lot of yapping about the show, and Greg says this.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I've seen this reported, but I can't find a source. Is it true season 3 is starting to film in May, or is that just scuttlebutt?
The plan is to start this summer.
Okay.
I don't know the exact date, but...
Oh yeah, this is one of the things that I was laughing about previously. It's the fact that because of season 1 being lightning in a bottle, they already greenlit season 2 and 3. And this is just going to be another Last of Us situation where season 1 was perceived relatively okay. But that's because most people have the IQ of insects. And, well, the Fallout TV show did the same, and it's gonna do the same with The Last of Us. Season 1 perceived pretty okay. Season 2, shit show. Season 3 should not have been even made. And this is gonna happen with the Fallout TV show. If you look at the charts, if you look at the numbers, Season 2 is not even performing 50% as good as Season 1. And that's something I predicted, by the way.
It's being written now, and Jonah and crew.
And Season 3 is not going to be even as 50% as good, most likely, as Season 2. Now, that's not my official prediction, by the way, but I kind of feel safe without looking at the numbers to even say that at this point.
We like to move fast, so
Yeah,
we want to get these, yeah.
It's the antithesis of the Fallout games, right? Move fast, huh?
Yeah, it's just so funny, isn't it? Just so funny, Todd. Yeah, we're all laughing. The only thing I really found interesting about them discussing the show is how he mentioned there's an end in mind for the current cast.
There's an end in mind for these characters.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll call it like this story.
Yeah.
There is an end in mind. Yes.
I knew for a while that Todd really liked the college football games, but today I learned that Todd plays these competitively online.
College football 26. I play competitively online.
You're playing competitively online. Are you like really good at it?
Dude, he just loves this slop. That explains a lot, doesn't it?
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm in like whatever the Heisman ranking category.
Yeah, he's very passionate about it. So Greg finds it within him to ask again about new Fallout games. I gotta respect Greg for how much he tried this time.
Fallout video games. Todd, when are we getting another one of those? Because you got it. The Oblivion remaster
Well, the
was a
new
huge
update for
success.
Fallout 76 drops in a few weeks.
It drops on March 3rd. Season 24 and the Backwoods. We're aware.
Look, for us, that's a new yeah.
I
Look,
know.
when it comes to development, for us.
Yeah. I know Todd's just being real jokey here. But does anyone find this funny? I don't find it funny. I mean, it's a little funny. But no, Todd, I don't think you're allowed to joke about this. Like, it makes it a lot less funny when the guy who has been basically the reason there's been no new Fallout games is sitting there joking about there being no new Fallout games, calling a 76 up.
By the way, I love how you watching are slowly starting to get on the Todd's gonna get fired hype train. I think it still could happen, by the way. I really think it still could happen. But at the same time, it's like, Microsoft is a giant company full of a lot of very autistic people. Let's be nice, okay? Very special needs. Very bad special needs, in fact. So, maybe they're actually incapable of understanding that no one likes Todd at this point. Maybe they... Like, I know it seems preposterous, right? You go on YouTube, you check the newest videos on Starfield. You literally have, like, hundreds of almost literally almost 100 million views about Starfield being shit in the past year, right? In the past 12 months, which I contribute a significant amount. Thank you very much. And not a single person saying that Starfield is a good game. Maybe there's one video saying Starfield's good, but everyone's relentlessly mocking them in the comments. And Microsoft just doesn't understand that this is happening. Maybe they are actually so blind at this point, so absolutely corporately destroyed from inside, that they don't even recognize this. Maybe they actually think that Todd Howard's doing a great job, destroying one game after another, overseeing failed release after failed release. And they just don't even know. Maybe they think it's actually still kind of not a loss or anything, that it's still actually good. Who honestly knows, right? Because, again, at this point, there's no way that Todd Howard should not be in danger to lose his job position. It's just fucking wild. That he can literally, for the past 10 years, failure after failure after failure, and there's no punishment for when a new boss comes into town. It's so strange.
Update a new Fallout game. Shut the fuck up.
Just want people to recognize how much work we're doing on Fallout that we're putting
Fair.
out.
That's fair.
Many times a year. Just we're really proud of it, and there's a great audience there.
You just want people to recognize how much work you're putting into Fallout. Dude, people know about 76. It's not the secret.
76 is a buggy mess. A lot of things don't work. The microtransaction shop barely fucking functions. and the game is horrible, and do not let any of these, oh no, 76 is actually really good when you give it a try. You know, when you're 200 hours in and you have done everything in the game, it's really good. It becomes really good. That's when the game starts. Don't give into this garbage. It's nonsense.
That you have to bring up all the time. Everybody knows it's a live service that gets updates, and I don't think adding skins into Warzone is like Fallout content. This bullshit that Todd loves to peddle that they're working on Fallout more now than ever, I fucking hate it.
So, but it's understandable when these big franchises people love.
I mean, he's not lying there. It's true. They are working more on it because previously they just made it and kind of abandoned it in the shitty state it was. Then modders had to fix it, and after a year that modders fix it, Bethesda updates the game again and breaks it again and makes everything worse, and the modders have to fix it again. Technically, they have been working on Fallout more than they ever have because of 76. That's actually true.
Whether it's Elder Scrolls, Fallout in particular, and that people want brand new experiences. We 1000% get it. And let's just say, look, we're working on stuff. There's a time to announce that and talk about it.
But yeah, it's hopeless trying to get Todd to talk about new Fallout games. He will not do it. So Greg tries all he has left and goes for the remasters.
But the Oblivion, surprise remaster launch, that was a big hit, right?
It was huge, actually.
People love
yeah.
that. That seems like a great thing to do with all sorts of Fallout games.
Yeah, I would say I'm softened on the whole remaster thing. I'm sort of anti-remake.
And yeah, Todd basically just says that he's softened on remasters, but he's still anti-remake. The reason he mentions he's softened on remasters is because I believe during the interview with Mr. Matty Plays, he mentioned that he didn't want to do remasters. That said, I do broadly agree with Todd's remaster.
He didn't want to do remasters and TV shows. All of this is purely Microsoft.
Master philosophy that he goes over here.
It's like, okay, well, imagine you had patched that game many, many, many times for like many years. You had patched it. What would you have done? And so we sort of took that approach with sprinting and some other things. And then graphically, let's just make it look modern. The sort of dartboard of outcomes game with the legacy of like Oblivion, most of the outcomes in the dartboard are bad, right? You can mess with what it was for people. Here's the sliver that we need to hit that kind of not just acknowledges the legacy, but in many ways enhances it. Given the success of that remaster, we think about others, but we'll see.
By the way, remastering these games is so fucking easy, by the way. It is ridiculously easy because the reality is there's literally tens of years of YouTubes going over it in a statistical way by videos with likes and dislikes and views and people agreeing or disagreeing in the comment section about what are the strong parts of the game and what could be added and what could be done. Okay, people have talked to death about how to improve the games, how to make the stories better. Like, remastering a game and making it better would be just add more stuff, add more enemy variety, improve the feel of some zones, maybe, improve the layout a little bit, maybe, and add new dialogues, add new options and quests, add things, add these things. It should be so ridiculously simple.
Happens.
Maybe I'll play a Fallout one day. Maybe Ben will be 20. He'll be 20 years old when he plays it.
Greg gets another solid zinger. Greg asks Todd about what he thinks about leaks. We find out that Todd hates leaks, but he doesn't think they help or hurt games in the end. He says they share stuff freely internally. Greg brings up AI. Todd says that they're incredibly cautious about using it, and he says stuff like we're looking at it and for things like big data tasks. And like I said before, this is always a slippery slope with them. Todd did specifically say that they don't use any form of Gen AI, which I just find weird because isn't procedural generation sort of similar? And isn't Starfield like 99% procedural generated? Todd doesn't seem to think he's retiring soon. And then he had this to say about Starfield.
For some people, understandably, I'm not like, Starfield can be a boring game. We have some things in the new update, I will say, that make that procedural sort of what you're getting better, but I don't think it changes the nature of the exploration per se.
You know, it doesn't make me happy to watch Todd say something like that. And I get any game can be a boring game to anyone, but we all know why Todd is specifically saying that. It's because it's just the #1 criticism of Starfield. And yeah, it doesn't make me happy to sit here and watch. So many people on Reddit, and even some people in the comment section, just call me a Bethesda hater. It's crazy. If you can't tell that these were clearly my favorite games at one point.
I mean, if you're not a Bethesda hater at this point, I do not even trust your opinion, okay? If you think Bethesda is doing great, if you think that their games are good, if you think that their decisions are solid, I'm sorry, we do not have the same amount of intelligence. And I feel sad that we have technically the same rights.
There's just no hope for you, but I remember watching Todd Howard on stage for Fallout 4. Todd is a huge, iconic figure in the gaming world. I want to be excited when he's releasing something. And yeah, it just makes me sad to watch him say stuff.
Bro, did they show an NCR bit? Yes, they did. I didn't look at the helmet. I didn't pay attention. I fucking got it from the coat. Oh man, Todd Properly was fuming. Oh, look at that. Bethesda. I love your games. Oh, really, Timmy? What do you like? Fallout New Vegas? Oh man, I bet Todd dies inside every single time that is brought up. Oh my god. Anyway, that was drawn out 10 out of 10. Bye.